I'm Keith Inman, Vice President for Advancement, and this is truly a great day. I would like to welcome you today, and I'm really glad that the sun's out. In a few minutes, President Jim Ramsey will make a historical announcement, a project which has been several years in the planning and in execution. This project was designed and implemented to move our university forward and to make a difference in the lives of students and faculty forever. In addition to Dr. Ramsey, Dr. Robert Hughes, Chairman of our Board of Trustees, will add his comments. You'll also hear from LaShawn Ford, a student scholar, and I must add, an impressive student scholar, and two faculty members, Dr. Dave Simpson, a guy who really gets it, and Dr. Andrea Bierman, who might be the neatest person I've ever met. This is truly a big day. And now, it's with great pride I ask Dr. Ramsey to come to the podium for this special announcement. Dr. Ramsey.
Whoa. Okay, no announcement. I just lost all my notes. No, there'll be an announcement. I want you to first join me in thanking Keith Inman and all of his staff and all of his office for the amazing work. Keith, thank you all for all that you've done that made this day possible. This is a big day for the University of Louisville, an important day in the life of the University of Louisville. Everyone knows what's been going on in the economy the last few years and knows about the budget cuts. You also know that we've been given a statutory mandate to be among the best universities in the country. And so we need money. And so our capital campaign has been one of our strategies to move forward in a tough fiscal environment. When we started the planning for the capital campaign in 2006, we had a consultant that worked with us, and the consultant told us, based on their research, that we should probably be able to raise around $600 million in a capital campaign. And before we went public with the capital campaign, our Board of Trustees met, and I remember vividly forever one of the trustees saying, "We've been told we can raise $600 million. Let's have a stretch goal. Let's do more than $600 million. Let's not be afraid of failing. But we won't fail, but let's set the goal higher than that." And the trustees said that they would rather strike out in the major leagues than hit a homer in the minors. Well, today we didn't strike out. We not only hit a home run, we hit a grand slam home run. We're here today to announce I'm kind of blown away with this announcement, so you all ready? That's your cue. Okay, I'm blown away to announce that our total campaign goals, and the deadline for the campaign is not till June 30th. So as of today, we've raised $1,004,587,433. Give it up, U of L. Heck, somebody ought to lead a cards cheer on that. Who can we get, Keith? Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy. Jimmy, that was okay, but I want you to practice. So when we hit 2 billion, we'll be a little more enthusiastic. That's 1 billion reasons to say thank you. We have the greatest faculty, staff, and students at the University of Louisville, and we thank them every day for what they do and for this amazing trajectory that we're on. We have reason to thank all of our donors, and in the campaign video that we did a number of years ago, at the very end, I implored that we needed our alumni, our supporters, our friends. We needed our community to come together and help us be successful in this campaign, and they have done just that. As a result of the success of this campaign, we can continue to impact the lives of our students, our faculty. We can continue to do pioneering research, and we'll hear about some of that research that was featured on the front page of the USA Today, the second page of Wall Street Journal just earlier this week. The great research that's taking place here at the University of Louisville, and we've been able to focus on new facilities and infrastructure. To get to a little over $1 billion, we've had over 75,000 people step forward and make donations to this capital campaign. And let's thank them with a unified big U of L cheer. Thank you to all of our donors. In large part because of this campaign, we're on an amazing trajectory, showing improvement in all the key performance indicators, 6-year graduation rates, quality of our incoming freshman class, number of students we're graduating, number of doctoral degrees we're graduating, research dollars generated and spent. None of this would have been possible if it were not for the generous support of so many different people as part of this campaign. And our commitment is to continue to move forward, to not backslide, so that on behalf of 22,000 students, nearly 7,000 faculty and staff, let's once again say thank you to all the donors who've made this day possible. Again, we've got more to do, so we'll be talking about that over the next several months. We've got the leadership on our Board of Trustees to help us get that done, and it's a great honor for me to introduce one of our grads, one of our donors, one of our friends, Dr. Bob Hughes, Chairman of our Board of Trustees at the University of Louisville.
Some of the things, Jim, you're a lot taller than I am, but some of the things I'm going to say are a little bit redundant to what Jim said. But first off, thank you, Jim. Today is not only a beautiful weather day, but it's a great day in the history of the university to be able to reach $1 million goal. And having served as the chairman of the Board of Trustees at the University of Louisville, it's given me the opportunity and the unique position to witness many of the amazing successes that Jim, you and your leadership as president, I've been able to see. When Governor Ernie Fletcher appointed me to this board back in 2005, the discussion of the $1 billion campaign was in its infancy, and I think Marie and I were there in 2006 when we were talking about what was the figure. Now, I got a little confused. I thought it was 500. Today I learned it was 600. Then it went to 750. And I remember that bar, every time we met as a board of trustees, it just kept raising and raising and raising. And the reason it kept going up was the acceleration. And I can't say enough kind words about Keith Inman and Jim. I mean, they've just scoured the country searching for funds. I mean, we need that here. And without a great faculty, and I heard some statistics today about the amount of funds that was raised from the faculty, the staff. I know the students have given, which is the reason why we're here. This would not have been possible. And, well, we did it. And we hit $1 billion, and we're not done yet. We've got 3 months left, and I heard some projections today. We'll save those for a later date. But anyway, it's a great honor to be up here to talk about this. We've reached this goal faster than any university in our state because of this excellent leadership team that Jim's put together, along with the faculty and the students here, and also the Board of Trustees. I want to give Keith again a special acknowledgement. He's going to get a shout out, as they like to say this day and time, even though I'm a little bit aged to be giving shout outs, but you got one. So, but anyway, again, this gets back to the outstanding faculty, staff, research, because for the work that you do, you're the next generation that will change the world. And I want to leave a quote, that came from Nelson Mandela. There is no doubt that the most powerful weapon in the world that you can use to change it with is education. And today is the beginning of a better future for this university family. And with great pride, I would like to recognize the next speaker, who is a young woman who will become a better leader in society because of her experiences here at the University of Louisville. She has the distinction of being a Cardinal Covenant student, a Porter Scholar, is majoring in Justice Administration, Psychology, Sociology, and Philosophy. She volunteers with the Parkland Boys and Girls Club and mentors students through the TRIO Student Services. LaShawn Ford is a finalist for the 2014-15 Truman Scholarship and plans to attend law school next year and aspires to become a juvenile court judge. Through the law, and I'm sure many other public services that she will engage in through her lifetime, she will change the world. LaShawn Ford.
Okay, I hope I don't sound redundant because he just mentioned a lot of the things that I did, and I was going to mention that too. But good afternoon. Before attending the University of Louisville, I went to Lloyd Memorial High School in Erlanger, Kentucky. As a first-generation college student, I never considered going to college until my senior year of high school. My father was incarcerated, and I had a single mother who cared for 3. I knew I wanted a different life for myself, and the University of Louisville gave me that opportunity. The Cardinal Covenant and Woodford Porter scholarships have made it possible for me to focus on my academics and not worry too much about my finances. In lieu of working full-time, I stay involved on and off campus. Currently, I intern at the Jefferson County Judicial Center with a circuit court judge. I volunteer at Parkland's Boys and Girls Club and at the YMCA with the Youth Achievers. On campus, I volunteer through the Diversity Recruitment Office. I'm a mentor and tutor for TRIO Student Support Services, and I work part-time at the Office of the Provost. Even though I'm highly involved, I maintain a 3.98 GPA. Thank you. Thank you. I thought about graduating from the university in 2.5 or 3 years with 1 degree, but instead I decided to stay and get not 1, but 4 majors. I made this decision because I felt that the university can give me a lot more opportunities and that I need to maximize these opportunities. My involvement began with the scholarship programs, and they gave me the resources and encouragements I need to strive for success. Without donors, these programs wouldn't exist, and people like me would struggle with debt or even coming to the University of Louisville. I cannot be more thankful for the Cardinal Covenant and the Woodford Porter scholarships. They helped me out tremendously, and I know they will continue to help out a lot of students because I show that these scholarships can make a difference. Now, I would like to introduce Dave Simpson, who is a university professor and chair of Urban and Public Affairs, and the 5th professor of community development. Hope I said that right. Okay, thank you.
This isn't in my comments, but I just have to say that Ms. Ford is exactly the reason I became a professor. I mean, she is an outstanding student and is so representative of the enthusiasm and the pride that we have here at the university. So another round of applause for her, please. So my name is Dave Simpson, and since 2006, I've been honored to hold the endowed chair of Fifth Third Bank Professor of Community Development. And the first point I'd like to make is just that I'm representative, I think, of the excellent faculty that hold these types of endowed chairs that get support for their research and the activity that they have in the classroom. So I'm honored to be standing here today, but I want you to know there's a whole bunch more of us out there doing good work. My professional and academic training has been in urban planning, but my passion has always been about making communities better. And so my research explores how communities respond to hazards and disasters and how we can save lives and property through improved community preparedness and greater community resilience. So I'm thrilled to speak just for a few minutes on how gifts and giving to the university can have far-reaching impacts here at the university, but also to the state and beyond. My endowed chair was the direct result of the Bucks for Brains program and an endowment gift from Fifth Third Bank. Now, these funds have supported my research in hazards and disasters, but more importantly, supported the work of a research center that I direct called the Center for Hazards Research. Our center has conducted applied and theoretical projects that have explored community preparedness, recovery from hurricanes, including Hurricane Katrina, accidents and safety at railroad crossings, emergency communications for water utilities, and many, many other projects over the years. The key point here is how gifts and endowments are investments, and how relatively small amounts of this support can leverage much bigger impacts. Through my research in the center, we have been fortunate to bring in over $10 million of external grants and projects to the university, all in areas designed to improve community safety, preparedness, and increase our understanding of hazards and disasters. As an example of the further impacts to the state, our direct work with the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management has resulted in the state obtaining an additional $25 million in post-disaster mitigation funding, and those dollars are affecting nearly every citizen in the Commonwealth. Here at the university, those research dollars have funded over 50 graduate students with tuition, internships, and project experience that have made them competitive in the job market here in Louisville and around the country. These funds have provided support for 4 dissertations, with 3 of those graduates now in faculty positions themselves and mentoring the next generation of students. With budget reductions, the power of endowments is a crucial part of our ongoing success at the university, for our faculty, for our students, for our programs, and for our community. I'd like you to know how grateful I am for these gifts that made my endowed chair possible, and how those funds have helped the university give back to our community and to the Commonwealth. Thank you. And thank you. And it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Andrea Behrman, and she's the professor of neurological surgery.
As David said, I am Dr. Andrea Behrman. I'm a professor in the Department of Neurological Surgery and a faculty member in the Kentucky Spinal Cord Injury Research Center. Now, if you've been in Louisville or in the United States or watched USA Today, CNN, read the Wall Street Journal, what else? In the past 24 hours, I think you've seen that the Kentucky Spinal Cord Injury Research Center has been in the highlights of science news. Over the past several days, they presented groundbreaking research that had to do with 4 gentlemen with paralysis from spinal cord injury and their potential recovery from spinal cord injury using something called epidural stimulation. 2 of those researchers are Dr. Susan Harkema, Dr. Scott Whittemore, Dr. Reggie Edgerton, and Dr. Claudia Angeli, who lead that research here. This is cutting-edge, groundbreaking research where individuals who were once paralyzed are now able to move their legs. It's phenomenal. It's the reason I came to the University of Louisville. I've just arrived here in September 2012 from the University of Florida, so I'm fairly new to this community. But in this brief period, I've become keenly aware and even more so appreciative of the commitment to excellence of this university and its leadership, and of the leadership in providing resources for faculty to conduct such groundbreaking research. I think the Blue Angels might fly by any second. In short order, the university has expressed its commitment. There they go. Everybody look to your right, go ahead. Because it's pretty neat. So, I'm fairly certain that Keith arranged that flyby for you. Okay, in short order, the university expressed its commitment to a common vision to extend this rich heritage of work by the Kentucky Spinal Cord Injury Research in advancing the science for rehabilitation and recovery after spinal cord injury, from its promising work with adults with spinal cord injury to the pediatric population with spinal cord injury. The impact of spinal cord injury is devastating. It's multiplied by the abrupt interruption of growth and development of children. I hope you can hear me out there. Our aim is to develop a world-class research and clinical program for pediatric neurorecovery here at the University of Louisville. To that end, Drs. Ramsey and Dunn sought out a partner known for its dedication to enhancing the quality of life and the health of children here in Kentucky and Indiana. That's Cozair Charities. Complementing the university's contribution of $2.7 million, Cozair Charities gave this past year a generous gift of $7.3 million to establish the Cozaire Charities Center of Excellence in Pediatric Neurorecovery here at the University of Louisville. This center will provide the latest in rehabilitation therapies for children with paralysis. It will train healthcare professionals and scientists, and we will conduct groundbreaking research that will change the lives and improve the quality of life for many children with paralysis, both near and far. Together, we are going to usher in a new era of hope for children with paralysis and for their families. I'd also like to recognize the Todd Crawford Foundation. It's a local foundation run by a gentleman who has endured a spinal cord injury himself. And he this year is donating funds so that one child can return this summer and be part of our research study over the next summer. I also want to mention that donors actually become part of our research team. So we met with a foundation group recently this year, and they worked very differently than NIH and other agencies. They want to give us money. They want us to succeed at our application for request. And so I said, this is so different. So you're not criticizing anything, you're encouraging us, and in fact, you're telling us how to do it, how to succeed in our application. And they said yes. So borrowing from your sports theme, Dr. Ramsey, I had everybody put their hands in the middle, and I said, okay, team, give a big cheer, let's go. So I want you to know that as donors, you are part of our team. We recognize you in every publication, in every PowerPoint presentation, and every other event where we're raising funds. We recognize you to the families that we work with. On behalf of the faculty and on behalf of those families, on behalf of the University of Louisville, I want to thank every donor who makes a contribution for us to do what we do. And as they say, it's possible here in Louisville because of people like you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You see, our job is actually pretty easy when you have a lineup like this. So thank you, thank you. I have a little bit more business to do, and I'd like to ask our speakers to return to the podium. And as they come, I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few people for their work and support in charting our course. First, I want to thank Dr. James Ramsey for his hard work and dedication, his leadership, and his vision for our university. I would like to thank the University of Louisville Foundation for their investment. Without them, the campaign could not have been possible. So, Foundation, thank you. I'd like to thank our Board of Trustees, again, for their leadership and support. None of this would be possible without that. Thank you. I would like to thank Dr. Shirley Willingans, our provost, and all of our academic leadership that is here today. I don't want to yell for the rest of them. That's here today because, again, we couldn't do it without them. I want to thank Tom Jurich. Tom is our Vice President for Athletics, and Tom has set the stage for excellence. But I really appreciate his counsel, his friendship, and his 1 a.m. phone calls where I can call him and ask him for help, and he answers the phone. But Tom, he couldn't appreciate this. I think I see the rowing team over here. Y'all over here? All right, great. I'd like to thank Dr. David Dunn, Executive Vice President for Health Affairs, and Dr. Bill Pierce, Executive Vice President for Research, for all they do. And again, they make my job easy. So I'd like to also add my thanks to the steering committee, and especially Henry Heiser, Chester Porter, the late Owsley Brown Frazier, and Chuck Denny, Junior Bridgman, for their leadership as co-chairs of the steering committee and this campaign. And lastly, I'd like to thank our advancement staff, advancement services, development, alumni, our communications and marketing staff for all their hard work to make this goal a reality. I'd like to thank all the faculty and staff and student athletes that have come. I'd like to thank students that have come, and I'd like to let everybody know that there will be a picture on the steps after this is over. And if Doctors Dunn, Jurich, Pierce, and Willingham could join the speakers, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Ramsey.
Again, thank you, Keith. And one more time, let's give it up for Keith Inman and his staff for making this day possible. You know, there's a lot of data on the campaign, and again, we've got 3 more months to go, and a lot of ways to dissect where the donors are from and who gave money and so forth. But Andrea mentioned an organization that's been a great friend to this community and the children in this community for nearly 90 years, and it mentioned an organization that's been a great friend to the University of Louisville and allows us, through their gifts to us, to do what we do for children in this community. And the largest gifts that we received from any one foundation as part of this campaign came from the Kosare Charities. Jerry Ward is here. Jerry, thank you and the charities for all that you all do every day. I could go on and on. LaShawn, we're so proud of you, and you mentioned Woodford Porter, and as you drive out, there's a banner that says, that has one of his expressions that I'm so fond of remembering, and that is, education is the great equalizer. And great students, great faculty, groundbreaking research, new facilities, that's what this campaign was all about. So we're going to do a countdown. I think one of our banners got a little bit ahead of us because of the wind, but we're going to do a countdown. I want you to count along with us. We'll start 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll unveil what this campaign really means to us at the University of Louisville. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Again, thanks everyone for being here. I'd like to thank our donors. I'd like to thank the Blue Angels for their appearance. For the members of the media, we'll stick around for a little bit for questions. But again, thanks and picture. Okay. Anybody can fit on the steps, let's go, and we're going to take a picture. But again, thanks for being here, and go Cards.